Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to see a game between Aditya Mittal and me, Nikhil, which is played in Baku Open 2023. The tournament is from 1st May to 10th May 2023, something. And you will learn a lot from this game. And the most important thing you will learn is how grandmasters play a very solid chess once they get a better position. So it started with knight f3. So Aditya was white. He opened up with knight f3, knight f6, c4, g6, knight c3, bishop g7, e4, d6. So he decided to go into a main line, main king's Indian setup, d4 short castle, bishop e2, and e5. Instead of e5, black can go bishop g4 here, which is also line. So e5 and now short castle. Again, this is a main theory. Now black can go knight c6, which is the main line, but here I decided to play knight bd7, which is suggested by one grandmaster in one of the chessable course. So knight bd7, bishop e3, and then queen e7. So the point of knight bd7 is to take into d4 and to attack on e4 pawn, and black also go knight c5, rook e8. Also, if white plays d5, black have something like c5. So this is the main plan. So queen c2, and the idea was to prevent e4 pawn. So now I cannot take knight into e4 because white have two defenders and I also have two attackers, so I can take. So queen c2, c6, rook a d1, e into d4, knight into d4. Now this is a very critical position. As you can see, white got a positional advantage. Also white have this space advantage, as white have a very control on very important squares, and it's very hard for black to find the right plan. Black have some plans like to play knight h5, knight f4, knight c5, attack on e4, and something like d5. These are some main plans in this opening, but unfortunately here it's very hard to find a move for black, and I played knight c5. And from this point you will see that uh, how white played a very easy game, and he managed to defeat me quite easily. And that's the beauty of grandmaster. Yeah, they are better chess players, and obviously they know a lot of things that usually uh, even FMs and IM misses a lot. So after knight c5, the idea is knight into e4. So he played f3 and I played a5. So I was thinking of d5, but in the game I thought it's kind of risky to play d5. So I played e5 to prevent b4, and then he played queen d2. Now I cannot go d5 because this bishop is not hanging. If instead of a5 if I play d5, then that was quite fine, because he cannot take with e into d5. I can always take this bishop, but after queen d2 it's very difficult for me to decide what to play. Then white's next idea is to play knight c2 and to take queen into d6. This pawn is free. So I played knight b7, knight c2, and bishop e5. Although my this defense is not very good, because white always have something like f4, bishop moves, and queen into d6. So I have to be careful about that. Also, this bishop is well placed on g7 compared to e5. White have something like bishop h6 every time, and threats like bishop g5, which he played. Now f6 is kind of forced. Queen e8 is really very passive. Queen e6 is like there are always threats like knight d4 after queen e6. So I played f6, bishop h6, rook e8. And now if we look into this position, then from black's perspective, uh, it's extremely hard to find right moves. And for white needs to win, right? Yeah, in this position white will try to win, as I mean he's high rated also. Then he will try to find moves which are winning. So it's not very easy for white, I would say, but compared to black, white have lot of moves which white can just play and wait. So let's say slowly planning for a3 b4, but black don't have something like this. So maybe bishop e3 or something, bishop f4, try to extend the bishop. White have a lot of ideas. White played knight d4, again a very simple move, and this type of positions are always very uh, deep and crucial, usually for the defensive side, because it's very hard to find a move. So I played bishop into d4. I thought, okay, this is good. After knight e5, if queen into d6, then that's a mistake because of queen into d6, rook into d6, and knight f7. So it's a fork. Still, it's about equal, but yeah, he played bishop c1, a very good move. I missed this plan. His next idea was to play bishop, sorry, b3 and bishop b2, and keep this bishop and queen on a1 to h diagonal. The position is very solid. I didn't understand how I can continue. I played knight f7, b3, queen e5, queen d2, and you can see he's not trying to exchange the queens. He's trying to play very solid chess, a very simple plan. It looks like very simple, bishop c1, b3, bishop b2, but obviously I missed in the game. So whenever we see the game, then everything looks very easy. But when we play, the condition is totally opposite. So after queen d2, f5 I played, and I believe f5 was also a very bad move because I gave some chances. Now its plan, it's very simple to move the knight and to play queen d4. There are threats on g7, h8. Maybe if he manage to play knight d5, can go knight f6 also. So I played queen e7 because let's say if I play something like a west move, let's say rook a7, then you can play knight d5 and knight f6. There are always very difficulty for me. So basically bishop b2, queen e7, king h1, bishop d7. Yeah, also moves like king h1 matters a lot. Like uh, it looks like they are very simple and normal, but if we go into deep, then king h1 it's not easy to find, and also white have this attacking position. White can easily play queen d4 and try to play knight d5, but instead he's going for king h1, and that's the difference between gms and normal players. So bishop d7, knight a4, knight e6, and this was the final mistake. When I analyzed it, knight into a4 was the best choice, and to play c5, but obviously this doesn't look very practical because this bishop is very strong. I had less time on my clock, so it's difficult to calculate everything. And although maybe engine, because of this weak pawn structure, engine is showing the position is fine. I played knight e6, which was a blunder because he just took takes and then knight b6. Now suddenly his knight came into the game. Rook d8, he took, and his double bishops are very strong. So bishop d3, f4, g3. Okay, the moves like g3 again, very strong and solid move. The plan is after g3, if I take, then he can go to g1, and there are threat like checkmating ideas after rook into g3. There is something like bishop g7 can white can play, or maybe double the rook and play rook g8 checkmate. So after g3, d5, j into f4, d4, rook g1 check, king h8, and bishop f5. So this is already a clear loss for me. I played c5, bishop into e6, queen into e6, and rook e1. So okay, in the game I think I missed this rook e1 move, but yeah, I was on the time pressure, and it's kind of hard to see everything because already the position was kind of lost. All my pawns are on dark square, which white can easily target. After rook e1, the problem is if I move the queen, then white will just take the rook. If I don't move the queen, then white will take the queen. So I took the queen into e1, and okay, I just played a few moves. This is already lost after bishop a3. Let's say king e8. I can go. White can go queen g8, and it's a checkmate. So the important point of this game is how simply he managed to defeat me once he get a better position. So from the opening he got better position, and since then he got he managed to maintain the advantage, and always he played very solid, and yeah, that's the difference which you have to learn. So good to see it's always good to see a grandmaster game and analyze it. Okay, if you have learned something from this video, then please do like, share and subscribe to my channel, and hope to see you in the next video.